the $90,000 pontoon. $2,000 pontoon versus the $150,000 pontoon. Well, I'm out today on the Big Eau Pleine River, upstream from the Big Eau Pleine flowage on the 4th of July. And I'm on the SUP Cat. This is a pair of stand-up paddle boards linked together and powered by a small 55-pound electric motor. And I thought this would be a good place to show off the SUP Cat because there's pretty much a steady parade of pontoon boats going by. Just got passed by a fairly average pontoon, probably in the $80,000 plus range. Just before that, a pontoon boat went downstream at probably 50 miles an hour, maybe 10 or 12 people on board with twin 400 horse motors. So I'm guessing that's probably about a $150,000 pontoon boat. But today I'm out here enjoying the bird sounds and the silence of the electric motor on a pontoon boat that costs less than $2,000. And I get to see the same scenery. Actually, I get to see more scenery because I'm not disturbing any of the wildlife with a mega stereo system at the same time. So anyway, this is the upper Eau Pleine River, central Wisconsin. Happy 4th of July. So I'm back here on the Big Eau Pleine River, getting towards the upper end of the Big Eau Pleine flowage. And so the river here would normally be less than 50 yards wide, so I'm going through what would otherwise be dry ground if this wasn't a flowage. But this is one of those areas that's inaccessible to most motorboats. The paddleboards, of course, can float in just a couple inches of water. The prop on my electric motor is down maybe about a foot, so I can skim through here. So while you might have a motorboat or a jet ski go by on the original river channel to my left at 50 miles an hour, they won't dare come through here, so I have this all to myself. And mostly in these shallows, I haven't seen any wildlife right in here yet, but quite a few carp jumping in the warm water temperatures. I did earlier see 4 pelicans, which have become quite common out here for some reason. When I get back to the landing, I'll give you a walk around of the SUP Cat. This frame will adapt to 2 inflatable paddle boards, but I have this one set up on 2 rigid paddle boards, and it's basically untippable because you're sitting right at the water level, and I can stand up on it with ease. But it's also light enough that I can load and unload it all by myself. Another contrast. Expensive pontoon versus an inexpensive pontoon. One-foot roller waves versus no waves. Another one coming under the bridge. It's been pretty much a steady parade of pontoons today. Beautiful day, low 80s, July 4th. Happy 4th of July. On the upper end of the Eau Pleine flowage, this bridge basically marks the end of the Eau Pleine River and the beginning of the Big Eau Pleine flowage. It's been pretty much a steady parade of pontoon boats today. Beautiful 4th of July Saturday afternoon. And this is used to be called Spindler's Bridge. Technically it's Balsam Road. We've had a parade of pontoon boats today. And there's one pontoon boat giving another one a ride. Motor problems. Well, I don't have to worry about that. I don't have a gas motor. Although I could put a small one on here. I just have the smallest possible electric motor. I believe it's a 55-pound thrust. And it's a Newport with a shorter shaft, engineered kind of for kayaks, but it makes a great motor for this SUP Cat. So just a perfect quiet day out here on the water. I'm approaching the little landing that I used. I had it all to myself. So I was literally able to back until my wheels touched the water and dump this right in the lake. I didn't have to wheel it anywhere. And I'm going to do the same thing to load it. Each paddleboard weighs probably 40 pounds, 45 pounds maybe. So I have less than 100 pounds to load and unload. So I'm enjoying a quiet afternoon here on the 4th of July. So I'm back from my January 4th fun on the water. Back at the little primitive landing here. Since there's nobody around, I can back right up, so I'll be able to load the SUP Cat right onto my trailer. But anyway, this gives you another view of what's all involved. There are two frames that connect the two paddle boards. Normally I would have the same ladder type metal frame on the front and back if it was a set of two inflatable paddle boards, but in this case I used rigid paddle boards that had a molded front deck and some storage compartments and that didn't adapt to those metal frames, so I made a custom PVC frame there. But the back supports the motor and the lithium battery, and then obviously there's 2 folding kayak seats in the front. And been out for a couple of hours running around, and it used essentially an unmeasurable amount of power. It was so little power that my battery still shows over 13 volts. But that is a lithium battery, a 50 amp hour battery in there, and it's only half as big as that battery box. I have a little storage space in addition in there, but I wanted that box because it has a couple 12 volt outlets, it has a voltage, and it also has a little light, and it just protects the battery. So see more at supcats.com.